Well, another Arsenal alleged transfer target beats the dust. Pedro Neto could be signing for Chelsea. David Ornstein has provided an update on Eddie Nketiah. It wouldn't be an Arsenal transfer news video at present if we didn't go over the latest where Mikel Merino is concerned. Big up to all of you lot tuned in. Don't forget to smash the like button, get the creative juices flowing, and let's get straight into business. If you give me 30 seconds, I'll share my screen and we'll go over everything that currently concerns the football club we love. Now, if it will share, again, Pedro Neto is a man that's obviously Arsenal have been of interest in. I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans would have loved to have signed Athletic Bilbao's Nico Williams. If that isn't able to be done, which looks the case, Pedro Neto is a man that you would imagine would have a lot of offers. He's been linked with Arsenal, Liverpool, probably Spurs, the most aggressive of all the clubs recently, as well as Arsenal and a bunch of others. Chelsea, I mean, how many at this point? Yeah, they're going to need to build a new training ground. How many players have they got? Like, I feel sorry for their security staff. I feel sorry for anyone who prints the ID. Actually, I feel sorry for the coaching staff because you've got more. How? And you know, it's Chelsea's business. But apparently, Fabrizio Romano has said Chelsea have already reached an agreement with Pedro Neto's agent, George Mendes. No issue on salary. Club to club talks on going to get the deal done, as initial request is 60 million. He's on the top list for a new winger now. Quality player. If he can stay fit, can play on the left and the right, of a great age, someone that is probably expected to make the step up to a big club with the greatest of respect tools. 60 million, you know, you heard he had a 50 million valuation. Chelsea don't seem to play games and want to get deals done, so fair enough, man. Pedro Neto's going there. Again, there's been no links of recent with Arsenal for Pedro Neto beyond us fans having hope. Another one bites the dust. But what I will say is, where Nico Williams is concerned, where Pedro Neto is concerned, whether it's a striker or an inside forward or a versatile attacker, Arsenal need to ideally get both or get one. That goes without talking about central midfield and anything else Mikel Arteta has planned. And you would imagine with Smith Rowe obviously signing for Fulham, Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah probably not being good enough to go on the levels that we want to go to. We need to bring in a new addition. So another one bites the dust, man. Pardon me, apologies. Fabrizio Romano and Mikel Merino said he hasn't been called up for Real Sociedad's next game because they say that he's not 100% fit, but we know the transfer is behind the story because Mikel Merino has an agreement with Arsenal. The contract is already agreed. The player said yes, he knows that Mikel Arteta wants him. This is the reality. Arsenal have been closing in on the deal since last week, but they need to agree on a payment structure, payment terms, so a work in progress. Hopefully, you know, within the next few days, we sign him and he's able to be part of our squad for Wolves in some capacity, or at least be on the bench. Nothing really new there. We've heard personal terms are not a problem. We heard Mikel Arteta wants his namesake Mikel Merino. It's just about agreeing a fee with Sociedad, whether that is 20 million to 30 odd million euros. You've seen a lot of rumours that Merino is due a loyalty bonus of around 5 million, and that's kind of hinging on the deal. Some of you would have seen him in training, and obviously Zubimendi playing for Sociedad. He's actually been linked with Liverpool, if you don't know, and Merino not playing. That probably added, you know, flames to the fire in the sense of he expects some sort of progress. It feels the calm before the storm, but you'd imagine if there is a player that's going to sign for Arsenal next, it would be Merino. Again, after that, we are again aggressively linked with Victor Osimhen and obviously Gyökeres. And actually on that as well, people, leave that because I think we can look at the ITK accounts as well. Well, sorry folks, but we've got to go and do this. So we'll keep, let me copy and paste that. And then let's carry on with what we're doing here, people. Again, always making sure I don't miss anything for you. Again, I don't know why it's frozen there, which kind of puts an issue at things. Moreno has already communicated his desire to join Arsenal. Negotiations are progressing as planned. David Ornstein has been speaking about Eddie Nketiah. Marseille had 3 bids rejected. They tried to obviously get Wahi from Lens, and it seems like there's going to be a deal there, people. And crucially for me, it says obligation to buy. That means Eddie Nketiah is more or less gone from Arsenal. We've heard personal terms have been agreed with Marseille, and obviously he wants to play for Roberto De Zerbi. It's probably best for both parties, Arsenal and Eddie, that he goes somewhere where he can play proper football and on a regular basis. And, you know, you're playing under De Zerbi, you're playing for Marseille, which is one of the most supported clubs in France. You're playing in a top 5 league, and, you know, you're going to have more of a stature in terms of squad status. Although I do wonder, and again, it goes back to what I said, surely Arsenal are going to bring in an attacker, whether that is a striker, winger, or both. Because, again, Kai Havertz is the main man. Gabriel Jesus is a versatile player and a good player at that, and he looks good in pre-season. But if he gets injured, you have got Martinelli and Trossard as options. You don't really have any kind of bodies there, in which Eddie Nketiah was that. David Ornstein has said, Arsenal ready to sanction Eddie Nketiah's Marseille loan, including 30 million obligation to buy, which I think is good money, man, provided there's a sell-on clause as well for the 25-year-old. Arsenal ready to sanction Eddie Nketiah's departure to Marseille on loan with an obligation to buy for a fee in the region of 30 million euros. Now, obviously, there's rumours, we'll never know, but he's on 100-odd grand a week. He's someone that got released from Chelsea, progressed all the way to Arsenal's first team, been around for a bit, and is making us 30 million on top of the pure profit, being an academy prospect that Smith Rowe was brought in and whatnot. So happy, and the more money we get in, maybe we can be a bit more aggressive and find some difference makers. Allegedly, Ornstein also said personal terms are in place on a 5-year deal. As The Athletic reported last month, the ball is now in Marseille's court to decide whether or not to proceed. And people get on to Edu and Arsenal. When we sell too cheap, we don't get enough money. Where you've probably seen with the asking prices of Eddie Nketiah, or of maybe even Kivy, or of Ramsdale, or of Reece Nelson, now that we're being a bit ambitious and trying to be a bit more ambitious in getting transfer fees, people are still getting on to us. I think 30 million for Eddie Nketiah. I mean, if he goes and scores 20 goals for the next 5 years, it looks cheap, but 30 odd million euros, which is probably 27, 28 million pounds, sell on clause, we keep it moving, really. So yeah, De Zerbi is driving the pursuit, and the 25-year-old is keen to join the Liga side. Marseille had made an improved offer worth close to 20 million euros in brackets 16.8 in July, nearer to the formula Arsenal wanted for the forward, and the clubs had remained in conversations. Nketiah signed a new 5-year deal at Arsenal in June of 2022, just as he had about to become a free agent. His opportunities to play as a main striker under Mikel Arteta have been limited by the arrivals of Gabriel Jesus and obviously more recently Kai Havertz. He did play 37 times for us last season, getting 6 goals, but he only made 10 Premier League starts and was an unused substitute in our final 6 games. Big up to him, because, you know, obviously he can still play for Ghana because he hasn't made a competitive England appearance, but you've come through the academy, scored some goals, wore the number 14, made the club 30 million odd euros. At times, not that many, but been the number one. It's a success story. But unfortunately, where the club need to go, Eddie can't help us there. So I wish you all the best in that. I mean, The Athletic said, people, and this could, in where you look at the Pedro, Netos and players that have injury issues, people, you would have seen The Athletic have that big piece about Mikel Arteta, mainly off the, you know, hiring pickpockets. The major component in Arsenal's impressive performance last season was their ability to keep key players such as Gabriel, Saliba, Declan Rice and Odegaard on the field. Nothing groundbreaking there. Your key players stay fit, you play better. That was partly down to managing their load in training, but also owes something to their transfer strategy. Arteta and Eddie place a huge emphasis on availability. An Arsenal source said, look at the players they brought in. People like Rice and Havertz, they're at a good age, but what else? There's no injury history. That makes all the difference. Fair enough, and you won't have any complaints from me. Aaron Ramsdale's future is subject to speculation. Southampton allegedly are interested in signing Aaron Ramsdale on loan, which for me at this moment in time seems to be his only viable exit, although he has been linked with Wolves. If they do sell Pedro Neto to Chelsea, that's 60 odd million. I'm sure they've got other things that they want to do. Arsenal apparently have an asking price of 30 to 50. Maybe they have the finances to put him on decent wages and give the transfer fee. The player could be open to a temporary move, having already spoken to manager Russell Martin. However, Arsenal not considering loan deals for Ramsdale as things stand, which it helps Ramsdale and it might help us for next season if he plays well and puts himself in the shop window. Although Southampton are fighting relegation, having 3 relegations on your CV wouldn't look the best. You could end up staying at the football club, people. When Arsenal want Mikel Merino deal done, Mikel Arteta has made his demands clear. We all know we're advancing in talks, people. I'm not going to go over the same thing. Simultaneously, Liverpool allegedly are in talks to, you know, sign Zubimendi. Apparently, that is not going to affect what Arsenal are doing. Apparently, the deal could be worth around 25 million, which decent money. Although we done well in the Euros and a key player for Sociedad, it's got a year left. 25 million is decent money for him, people. Apparently, Arsenal have confidence the deal will be done this weekend. Sources have told HITC there is quiet confidence from those within the Emirates Stadium that a deal for Merino could be completed this weekend. I'm not sure for completed, because I don't, things can advance quickly. Maybe a fee could be agreed, but he still has to do a medical, and the finer I's and finer T's need to be dotted and crossed. So I'm not too sure on if it will be finalized this weekend. I'd love it to be the case. It'd add more euphoria ahead of next weekend where we're playing Wolves. And obviously we've got the Emirates Cup on Sunday, where I hope we see California, folks. So we'll have to see in that regards. That isn't anything of note. What is this, people? We've gone over Merino already. Again, it seems like these are the only people of interest to us. Again, would anyone take a chance on Kingsley Coleman? Apparently, Barcelona have made contact. PSG are open. Sorry, PSG as well. Apparently, Bayern Munich are open to letting him go with an option to buy or an obligation to buy. I know there's injury issues, but we need an attacker. Nico Williams looks like a myth. Obviously, Pedro Neto could be going to Chelsea. I don't know where we're at with the strikers for Gyökeres and Osimhen and all of these guys, but I'm sure Mikel, Arteta and Edu have a plan, and I'll reserve sustained conclusions and judgments until the window's closed. That being said, I do think we need to get the centre mid stuff sorted. I would like another attacker, ideally a striker and a winger. I am pessimistic on that. Seems like we're making progress where outgoings are concerned. Seems like it's gone cold on the Kivior front, having been linked with a bunch of Italian clubs. But honestly, people, who knows? Rest assured, if there's any emerging news and talking points, your boy will get videos and live streams covered. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed. Don't forget to follow my second YouTube channel. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.